So the first thing I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna save this again, and I'm gonna save it as robot UVs 026. And now, if you want, you can open it and continue with me. So what we have here is the high poly robot as well as low poly. I can actually hide those two layers, and I can unhide those pieces. I'm just gonna select them, and I'm just gonna delete those at the moment because I don't need them. And we're gonna delete this layer as well. So now we have only the high poly of the robots as well as low poly. Why did we left those things like this, and why we've detached all those pieces into individual pieces? Well, right now we're getting to the part where in order to bake those things, they have to be in unique space in the world. By meaning world is in the world pre max. So right now while I have both unhided in layers, I can start to grab, for example, the hands. I can move it up, for example, here, and place it somewhere on the back. I can come and select this finger and move it somewhere else. Grab this one as well as move it somewhere else. Do this one as well. Basically, I just try to place all those things in far as I can from each other and put them somewhere in the space and just place them correctly. And now I'll do the same thing with the arm. You don't have to worry about this because in our previous file we saved it, the robot, the low poly, and basically since we have the UVs and everything done, we're just doing this in order to explode the mesh, so we will have much more information. Basically, we're just exploding all the meshes so we can bake them. And since we have the UVs done, we can go back to the robot, which is entire piece. This is just for baking purposes. So we're just gonna put this somewhere there. Grab the arm, move it. I will not bake ambient occlusion. I'm gonna show you in a minute why. I'm gonna try something else because since we have floaters, the ambient occlusion will not work properly. Just gonna place this somewhere there. Grab the head. And also grab the outside of the eye. When you select those things, make sure that you select both of them because you want to have anything properly matching the low poly with the high poly. For example, here we have the sphere body. You don't want to put them too close to each other because if you put them too close, this will affect the normal maps and you don't want to have issues with that. So that's the reason why I try to fit anything as far as I can from each other so it can get baked properly without having any kind of issues. So now I have to select the same thing for the leg. Probably all those, as you can see, don't have the correct pivot points, but you don't have to worry about that because in a second all those pieces are going to get attached. The high poly pieces will get attached to high poly and low poly will get attached to low poly. So we just try to put anything into space as much as we can. For those of you who have worked with ZBrush, it's something like using explode, but this time we just use something like explode the mesh in space in order to get baked. So if I hide layers first, I can quickly check is anything placed in space and is it okay. I think I can hide the grid, and I think I've placed anything from even distances from each other. So now if I go to my manage layers, I can hide the high poly, and you can see I have only the low poly piece. If now I had to name all those things, those are, let me see, those are 24 objects. If you want, you can go and name each of those objects by, if you had the time. But since I don't have the time, I don't want, so far we have spent about 3-4 hours making this, and if you don't want to lose half an hour just naming those things, you can do it. You can go ahead and just name them. But we're getting to the stage where I'm gonna right click this, convert to poly, and attach it to all the other pieces. And if you have put names on those things, all those names are gonna disappear, because that's how we need the mesh in order to get textures for it. Even if you're gonna bake them in XNormal or inside of FreeStreamX, you just need to put all those things just like this. So if I select this, I can convert it to poly. Now I have this in the somewhere in the space here, and that's kind of okay. I'm just gonna hide the low poly layer right now, and I'm gonna hide the high poly. And now I'm gonna press F4 so I can select this. I've selected all the pieces and then applied turbo smooth on it. Now I just need to toggle it off. So I can select this, convert to poly, and attach all those pieces again. And now I just want to make sure that all those have one smooth group. I'm just gonna hit and clear all smooth groups and just press smooth group number 1. You can see that they don't get smooth that well, so actually they did, just we have a lot of chamfers and a lot of things on those meshes, so they're kind of okay. And all I'm gonna do now is apply turbo smooth on this, and I'm gonna set the turbo smooth on 2. This will be a lot of polygons, but I think it's for a good reason. If you want, you can go and put even more, like 3 for example. They'll get almost 1.5 million, but oh well, it will capture much more sharper shapes and so on in some areas. So right now, if I unhide all and hit yes, you can see that underneath this I have the low poly, and on top of it I have my high polys, and that's exactly what I want. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select the low poly piece. You can do the baking inside FreeStreamX, but I'm got used to work with XNormal, so I'm gonna show you how quickly you can work with XNormal, and later on we're gonna do some more additional things in XNormal. So it's good to use one program for all the things. I don't want to bake the normals inside FreeStreamX and then go to the other program to do the other things. XNormal is a very quick program for us to bake normals and those kind of things. So I'm gonna stop the video now, and in the next video we're gonna continue on and we're gonna start exporting the files and start to import them inside of XNormal.